Are you a cat lover who loves the idea of owning your own cat cafe? Then this is the podcast for you. Join me, Angeli Rodriguez, owner of the Woody Whisker Cat Cafe and author of the book Drinks and Whiskers, as I walk you through my tips and tricks to help you open a successful cat cafe. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Drinks and Whiskers podcast, the place to be to get the inside scoop on what it's like to open and run a successful cat cafe. I'm your host, Angeli Rodriguez, and I'm so excited to introduce today's guest on the podcast, Melissa Sherman. Melissa is the founder and owner of Calming Creek, a company that has supported hundreds of animals ranging from cats, dogs, horses, goats, and pigs to rabbits, ducks, and even exotic animals in sanctuaries. Through personalized holistic care, she has worked with rescue and shelter animals, helping pets with chronic health issues, emotional traumas, and behavioral challenges. From intuitive animal communication to energy healing and wellness consultations, Melissa's passion is to nurture the well-being of each animal while strengthening the bond between them and their human companions, creating a path of healing and harmony. So Calming Creek helps care for your pet's mind, body, and soul. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for being here today, Melissa.
What a great introduction. Thank you so much, Angeli. I'm really honored to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here. So, can you tell us a little bit about energy healing and how it can help cats in particular?
Sure. I'm an energy healer and an animal communicator. And what energy healing is the energy healer is actually tapping into kind of the frequency. Like if you think of a radio station and tuning in, we're tuning into that energy and then acting as a conduit for the energy to go through and help connect. And energy knows how to get to the places it needs to go. And it just really helps rebalance, and it has such a calming effect, especially for cats. They're so in tune with things around them. They're very sensitive to energy work, and I've even adapted my energy work to work specifically with cats because so you may have heard of Reiki, but it's a hands-on approach. With
Mhm.
cats, I don't do a hands-on approach because they're so sensitive to the energy. I found that they were it was almost like, they were just like, it's a little too much, and they would run out of the room and they would get a little overstimulated. Not all cats are like that. But
Mhm.
when I found myself introducing myself to cats in shelters or cats in rescues, I would see they would be more cautious if I'm trying to touch them as well, right? So
Right.
just adapting that to meet the cat where they're at, and then just helping bringing that frequency in, and it just
Mhm.
offers this calming effect. And there's something about stress that puts you into the fight or flight. So
Mhm.
energy healing helps bring that down, calm the energy, put you into rest and digest. So that's where
Mhm.
the cats can start to heal their bodies and their emotional and their everything. It just has
Mhm.
this whole ripple effect, and it's quite beautiful.
That sounds beautiful. We've had a couple of energy healers here on the show, and everybody that we've talked to, they always have such wonderful stories, and it's such a huge help. I mean, I didn't find out about energy healing until I was much, like I was an adult, and I'm like, what is this? Like, but it's just a feeling that you get. Like for those of us that are more like tangible, more less intuitive, just more about like logic and data and, you know, uh, just must touch to be able to understand, it took me a while to understand the energy healing, but I just, there's no arguing with the feeling that you get after you do get energy work or seeing the the change that cats have when they do have energy work on them. So I think that's beautiful. What do you find most exciting about your work?
So I think the most exciting thing is I would probably say it's with the animal communication. I like to start with animal communication, and what it does is really brings in the perspective of the animal or the cat. And sometimes, so people come to me when they've tried everything, nothing's working, I don't know what else
Mhm.
to do. So then they come to me. And then what they haven't done is brought in the cat's perspective. So bringing in that, and they communicate through telepathy, which is essentially pictures, words, feelings. Sometimes it goes into the like clairaudience, clairsentience. So sometimes sometimes I'll even smell something. Like it's incredible. And all of us
Mhm.
can do it. It's not a gift I was born with. It's a gift we're all born with. It's
Mhm.
just a muscle that you have to learn how to work. And the more you work at it, the more you practice with it, the more in tune and the more you start trusting yourself too. Because I know initially, I haven't always done this professionally, but initially I was like, no way,
Mhm.
totally making all that up. That's all in my own head. But you start to trust yourself over time. And then you can communicate with your own animals too, and you have a better sense of what's going on, and you can hone into their emotional needs. So my favorite part, that was a long way to answer this question, I'm sorry, but my favorite part about it is just bringing in that perspective, and it could just be that one thing that changes everything. Like, for example, there was a woman that had three cats. Two of them were newer. She'd had them for about 6 months, and they were litter mates. And then she had a cat that was about 7 or 8 years old, and she stopped using the litter box completely.
Mhm.
She did everything. Got multiple litter boxes, changed the litter, got places for her to hide. She did everything.
Mhm.
But there was still what is missing. She just would not use the litter box. When I did the communication with her, I wound up bringing in the other two cats. And what I got was there was this cat, Sophie, and she was this pretty princess. And then
Mhm.
the newer kitten, Xena, really lived up to her namesake. She's this warrior princess, and she's kind of fighting for that. She wants to be the top cat in the house. She wants to kind of
Mhm.
call all the shots. And Sophie just wants to just look outside, catch lizards, and just kind of go about her business. So just
Mhm.
bringing in that perspective, we were able to see that Xena was actually hiding, stalking, and attacking Sophie anytime
Oh.
she would go near the litter box. So bringing
Oh.
that perspective in showed the cat mom what's going on so she could shift the dynamic of the household and she could make a place that was safe for Sophie to go to.
Mhm.
And this is about a year and a half later, and Sophie's used the litter box ever since. So it helped shift the mindset of the cat mom who thought,
Mhm.
my cat's bad. I don't know what to do with her. I might have to rehome her, to it shifted to, I don't know how I missed this, but like my house is great now and everybody's great and it's just wonderful and
Oh.
peaceful. So that's my favorite part. It's so rewarding just to bring in that little piece of information and
Mhm.
shift the whole dynamic of the household. And not only that, this cat was in danger of going to a rescue or being rehomed, and she loved her
Oh.
home. So
Yeah.
just being able to keep her in her home and now
Mhm.
everybody's happy. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Gold
That's
stars all around.
amazing.
It feels good. It feels
That is
really good.
a beautiful example of how you can help, personal owners. Can you give us an example of how you can help cats in a shelter or a cat cafe situation when there's multiple cats living in a smaller space?
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
So I did work with a local cat cafe, the Deland Cat Cafe,
Oh, it's
and
beautiful.
she had. So I initially went in there to help one cat who had just come in. He had a hard, it was a difficult background,
Hmm.
and he was extremely overweight. So I was going in to do an animal communication and energy with him, and also do some nutrition and give diet tips.
Hmm.
Um, but I was able to just work with him, get his perspective on things, and then kind of just help calm him down.
Okay.
Um, but there were cats that were in the closet that she had just gotten, and they were really timid. They were scared to come out. They hadn't been
Hmm.
out in a week, and that's okay. Like, we let them come out when they're comfortable. So I sat there and did an energy session, and two of them came out to me. They came out of the closet and were sitting in front of me. So they warmed up. They felt confident. They were able to explore in the safety of the feeling of that energy. So, what the energy did was shift in that room that they were in. It just calmed down the energy. So, the other cats that had been kind of pushing them back into the closet, now
Hmm.
they're more neutral. They're not in that let's pounce mode. They're
Hmm.
calm. And it gave those cats this safety and security, like, I can come out and sniff around, and then within a few days, they were coming out on a regular basis. So
Hmm.
that's my goal, is to be able to help them shorten that time of that transition by feeling confident and safe.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And don't, I believe you have a special offering for people who are adopting from cat cafes where they can also kind of benefit from your, communication and teachings and helping with any behavioral issues that they might be experiencing with the new adoptions. Is that right?
I do. I do. I have a feline fundamentals class and it goes through everything, 101 that you need to know about cats. It's behavior, diet, um, you know, what to look for with veterinarian services and just all around healthcare. So it's just this more holistic approach of how to bring health to your cat, but how to help that transition and understand your cat. Because a lot of people do they'll adopt a cat and they don't really know everything. And sometimes
Mhm.
they approach it like they're a little dog. And as we know, cats need a different approach. They need a softer approach and they don't like to be treated like little dogs. So
Mhm.
just understanding the natural behaviors of a cat and because I don't really think bad behaviors are because they're doing it out of spite or something
Right.
like that. Like I really think that there's just a misunderstanding with cat behavior. If they're
Mhm.
urinating outside of the box, they're trying to tell you something. So,
Mhm.
what are they trying to tell? And as a cat parent, you can look, there's a checklist of things that you can start to look at. Is it
Mhm.
hard for them to get in the box? Do they not like the litter? Um, or is there something else going on? Because stress will cause those behaviors too. So, they might just be telling you, I'm a little scared. I'm a little anxious right now. And that's how they're telling you. So it's just this understanding and really hoping that the prevention is we don't have to rehome the cat because we have a better understanding and then we can meet their needs as cat parents. And I do offer the feline fundamentals class free of charge to anybody that's adopted a cat from a cat cafe. So it's
That's
just we want to
beautiful.
get you off to the best start possible with your kitty.
Oh, that's amazing. That is so awesome. Now, switching gears just a little bit, now going more towards the entrepreneurial side. I know you said that you weren't always in animal welfare and energy healing. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your background and how you were able to
Yeah,
take the leap into your new business?
absolutely. So I was in financial services for over 20 years and I did not like it. I never
Mhm.
liked it, but
Mhm.
it just felt like this is the responsible thing to do. So I just did that. I until I couldn't. My health declined from the stress and I just dove. So I was a Reiki master from before, but I didn't
Mhm.
really practice it like I should have probably.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I had gotten away from it, but I had these tools. So I kind of went back into Reiki, and then
Mhm.
that kickstarted this. I'm going to start a business. And then
Yeah.
I went into animal communication. I explored a bunch of different things, and it's just, I've been doing this for about 3 years now, but it's just, I left my corporate job to work with animals, and it's the best thing I've ever done. I wish I had done it sooner, is my only regret.
Mhm.
Um, but it's great. I mean, being a small business owner has its challenges, but
Mhm.
it's incredibly rewarding.
I love it. And what is like the most important lesson that you've learned in your business so far?
To go easy on yourself.
Mm.
Have patience with yourself. Don't try to figure out all the hows. Just have a goal and remember your mission. Just have this goal and say, I'm going to get there. Don't worry about all the hows because it can be so overwhelming in the moment. So just keep a
Absolutely.
clear goal and but yeah, go easy on yourself because not every day is a walk in the park. There are days that are like,
Mhm.
why am I doing this? I could just go
Mhm.
back to a corporate job and just get a paycheck and not have to worry about anything.
Mhm.
But yeah, don't so go easy on yourself even on the hard days. Like just take a break from what you're doing, I think is the biggest lesson I
That
learned.
was a wonderful lesson. And kind of piggybacking on that, do you have any advice for those interested in starting a cat cafe?
Yes, do it. Absolutely do it. But if this is your dream, you've been given this dream and this vision for a reason. So I really feel do it and write down, take a few minutes before you just go running full speed ahead and write down your mission, write down your whys, whether that's just one sentence or, pages. Because on tough days, you're going to want to look back at that and you're going to remember that. Um, I think that would be it, is just start with a mission and then remind yourself anytime it gets tough, go back to that mission and be like, yes, it's because I wanted to help cats. I want to work with cats. That's why I'm here. And it
Mhm.
just gets rid of all the other noise, I think.
Exactly. I love that. It's such a similar story to my story too. I love meeting other people who've taken the leap and actually, followed their dreams. So I just want to encourage more people to do that because it's so rewarding. It's so fulfilling, and I want everybody to feel that too. Thank you so much for all of that great advice. And if anybody has any follow-up questions for you, where can they find you? And listeners will be sure to put that into the podcast description if you want to reach Melissa Sherman and Calming Creek, energy healing.
At calmingcreek.com, my website is easy, or just even email me, melissa@calmingcreek.com. So if
Mhm.
you adopted a kitty too, just reach out to me and I can set you up with the next couple of classes so you can pick which class works for you.
That's amazing. I love that. Thank you so much. We've learned so much about energy healing and how it can help your kitties that are experiencing any behavioral issues or dealing with any trauma. So thank you so much for coming on the Drinks and Whiskers podcast and sharing your insights. And hopefully this helps future cat cafe owners reach their dreams too.
Thank you for having me, Angelia. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Drinks and Whiskers podcast. If you enjoyed it, please take a moment to like this episode, subscribe, and leave an honest review. If you want more information, you can purchase the Drinks and Whiskers book right now on Amazon.com, or you can reach me at Angeli@wittywhisker.com. Now it's time to get out there and start your cat cafe dreams. How will you warm hearts with a drink and a whisker?